afternoon, everyone. May I ask you to take your seats? I'm just going to do a little housekeeping before we begin. We're going to be inviting some of you to the stage, and we're going to ask that you come around the back here and up the staircase, and then exit through this one. Is that okay? I'm going to ask also for everyone to turn off their phones or put it on vibration so that we don't have any distractions. Again, welcome, 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 welcome to Barbados and the East Caribbean Launch 2022. Give yourselves a hand of applause. It's my pleasure and honor to be with you here today. Truly, it's been a vision and a point of explorations as we have entertained our president, President Florentine Scalecci, and our pioneer for this endeavor to bring the Organization of Human Rights Defense to the Caribbean, in particular for this day, Barbados and the East Caribbean islands. Again, it's a unfolding of much which we have carried in our hearts. Each of you, as we have heard through this weekend, have echoed a thread of a call to service. And like it has been said by so many, is not only has it been a call to service, there has been an answer to the call. Every one of you play a part, and you're not here as spectators, I'll have you know. You are participants. Each and one of you have what we call a Noah, a divine essence of God. And inside of that, you have a fight for freedom, a fight for your own personal truth, for your expression, to live, to love, to be free. And so, in essence, the Organization of Human Rights is here to help defend that, to promote that education near and far. So this call is yes for Barbados and the East Caribbean. However, it echoes out throughout the world and throughout the 193 member states inside of our global one world. So welcome, citizens of the world. Most of us have multiple diversities inside of our genes. And again, it's an honor and a privilege to be with you here today. I'm Angela. My name is Angela Kelly, and I'm the General Secretary of the UK location, and also as a liaison for the CARICOM and the Caribbean islands. Thank you. So I'd like to, without further delay, as we have very little time to establish what we want to create here in this space and in this time, I want to bring forward our director, our general director, and our international pioneer himself. He's a visionary within his own capacity. And you may have known him through many different hats. However, sometimes it's necessary for us to remember that who we are is not necessarily what we wear. It is not just the jobs or the vocations that we walk in. So I want to interview and introduce to you Orville, Sir Lord Robert Orville Thomas Register. He is a man, he is a teacher, a father, a brother, a visionary, an attorney, a lawyer. He is also known throughout 17 nations throughout our world as Chief Justice. It is fitting for this day and for this occasion for him to come before us and to acknowledge each and every one of you. Each one of you represent a nation, a people, a tribe. And so collectively together, we can accomplish many things inside of the defense of a human's right. Please raise your hands together.
Pleasant good afternoon, good evening, good morning in some places, the different places where they are hearing from us right now. I am delighted to be here in Barbados for the occasion of the launching of the Human Rights Defense. We've been trying to get our president founder of the Human Rights Defense. Fortunately, the Zoom and him don't seem to be agreeing, but given that he's 74 and the IT is not his strongest forte, so what I've decided to do, I'm just going to call him directly on his phone so you can hear him, and that way you can speak to him. By the way, he's in Bucharest right now in Romania, and I will let him actually address you directly. That's the only solution, yeah? Mr. Florentin, pleasant good evening. You are on speaker. Could you please say hello to the team in Barbados? I know. Don't worry, it's not working. I know you've been fighting. It's coming from Google and not Zoom. I understand. So on the phone, everybody can hear you. Yes, I know. So everybody can hear you on the phone right now. So we. Okay, let's do it on the phone. Go ahead. Speaker's on. It was on. Speaker was on. Could you please give me probably some volume on the mic when he comes on, all right? Okay, Mr. President, they can hear you now.
Yes, of course. Hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the president of Organization for Human Rights Defense from Romania and a member of the United Nations ECOSOC and also United Nations DESMA. And also, I wish you great success in what you want to make it. And also, I will be with you in every time. And I accept what you decided in that time. Also, I am a man that I decided that my general director, Orville Thomas, to be there and to make something about what means to be together in this conference. Well, I can say success, hopefully, and also I can say to be good for all of them. Thank you very much, and good success.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And you can remain online if you want, so you can hear the following of what's happening, or if your team can get you on to the Zoom, that would be great. I understand it's not Zoom, but Google. Okay. Right. So pleasant good day, everybody, again. And we kicked off with this. I want to speak about the human rights defense in about 2 minutes. President Florentin Scaleci is one of the top survivors of the communist regime imprisonment. This man, his story will blow you away and amaze you. The fact that he was asked to do something against humanity and refused to do so. In fact, made history in refusing to do so by blocking the Caspian Sea and send the entire crew, so left the ships in the middle of the way and send the crew to the beach to go and celebrate because he refused to do what the orders were from the Kremlin. As a result of that, he was put in prison. For those that have been to his office in Romania, he keeps the chains, 24 kilos of chains. They put on him for 5 years that he had to walk with, go to the bathroom with, and sleep with. And he says to me in his office, this is a souvenir to remind me of what I went through and where I came from. Totally remarkable. He's a 4-star general from the Marine. In fact, he was the youngest at 25 to become captain, so made history also by doing that. When he was sent to prison, before he went to prison, they sent him to the firing squad. And I had the pleasure of meeting his spiritual advisor, who is an Orthodox priest. And he said, I've been praying with him for 40 years. And he said, I thought about giving up many times. But the fundamental thing of his story is, the first time he went up against the firing squad, everybody around him got shot, but he didn't. So they decided that those guys must have been in his favor, and they got locked up too. Second time, they picked a random team, and when they went to fire at him, all the guns got jammed. The third time, everybody said, we're not doing this. So let's lock us up. So they decided they cannot kill him, so they will imprison him. In his own words, one of the most touching things he said to me was, he said, there is a God, because Ceausescu had the opportunity of sentencing me to death and to prison. He said, but life would have it that 6 years later, I will be the one sentencing Ceausescu to death. He goes to be, the only difference is, I did not fail. And we call him the president because he was the president of Romania for a period after the fall of communism, and made history by going through the region and establishing the human rights defense. It's in more than 35 countries, and the work he has done on the Eastern European bloc is mind-blowing. And so when I met him, we started to talk about the things we share. He's a professor in law in more than 6 different countries and in the entire region. He's got, I don't know how many honoris causa. I am only the recipient of 1 so far, but is a pioneer in what law is and human rights itself. And what I admire was his decision to create an independent, non-partisan, non-political, non-racial control group to champion and raise the points for human rights in that region. A lot of what you see today that took place, even some of the people that ended up in The Hague, is as a result of the work of this man in that region. And that became an inspiration to me. But when I started working inside of the region, I realized that we ourselves have some human rights issues in our zone. A lot of it is brushed under the carpet. A lot of it is not talked about. And in many instances, it's not even addressed. So I said to him, I said, I have a bone to pick with you, Mr. President. And I need you when you are sober, because I want it to echo. He said, okay, tomorrow after whiskey. I said, that's fine. And we sat down the following day. He said, what is the problem? I said, the problem is, because he's got a very good sense of humor. I said to him, I don't know if I should call you a racist. He goes, yes, I'm racist. I don't like nobody that don't drink whiskey. So we have a banter. He goes, but in this occasion, what happened? I said, well, you have not gone to any of the countries over the other side of the ocean. He said, that's not my problem. They didn't invite me. So I said, okay, fair point. And I asked him the question, what would it take for you to expand the amazing work you have done over 30 years in this region? He said to me, I've seen how you operate. You tell me where you want it started, and I will go. When he came to the UK, because the UK didn't have a human rights defense, they had a human rights commission. On his announcement to the press, he said, being from Eastern Europe, I never dreamt in a million years while sitting in a prison that I would be coming into a Western country to champion the principles of human rights, because I saw it as the inspiration and the direction where we learned from. Today, that is the same echo of sound I've carried through, and I intend to continue. So we launched in the UK, we launched in Jamaica, and now we are launching here in Barbados. And we intend to continue into the region. Why? Because I believe that with development also comes change. And there have been certain things that it's all good. I like what the minister said earlier. It's all good having the infrastructure, but what about the people? For the first time, we have some alarming statistics of mental health issues within the region. For the first time, we have a series of unreported crimes. We have children disappearing. Nobody wants to talk about it. We have people, bodies going missing. And let's not talk about how those issues are resolved, because decade on, and there are many that have not even been touched within the region. And so we're not intending to resolve all the problems of the world, but we do want to do something about what is taking place. Evil can only strive when good men sit and we do nothing. So as a result of that, I have gathered a few people to support me. And it's not my first rodeo. I don't like to talk much about what I've done, but one of the examples I'll give you on the legal scenario. For many years, when we did criminal law, I fought against criminalization of certain jurisdictions, certain places, and certain people. And I discovered that there was something that did not sit well with me, with teenagers being made criminal before they could even make choices. And this was done via sophisticated systems known as knowingly concern, which is a charge, and conspiracy, which is another charge. I challenged it, and I never expected to have any support. Within 3 months, I had more than 4,000 colleagues in the law practice say, we are with you, and we want an inquiry from the Ministry of Justice. By the end of 2017, I'm proud to announce that the Ministry of Justice in the UK had to announce that 95% of the cases of knowingly concern and conspiracy among juvenile were illegal. Did you hear what I said? 95%. Which means that 95% of youngsters that ended up with a criminal record should have never yet ended up with one. And we started impacting for changes. My drive is something somebody asked me in one of the recent interviews, what is it that drives me? I said, a passion for justice. And that stems from the test of fairness. Anybody in legal practice knows what that means. If I don't see fairness, I don't believe we have justice. And if we don't have justice, then what do we have? Injustice. So having a great infrastructure with a mindset of injustice is just going to breed more injustice. It's just going to become more modernized. I celebrate the efforts of Dr. Andre Thomas and his vision in actually saying, I want the human rights defense too to be here in Barbados and in the Eastern Caribbean region. So, with that said, I know that there are certain people that don't like the acknowledgement and don't like the recognition, and I understand it because I'm one of them. I did not like it. Anybody who knows me will tell you I will sit in the back of the room. I did not like to wear ties. I did not like to wear even formal shoes. I was constituted a rebel. In fact, I was the first law student that the dean of the university said to me, "We are destined for trouble with you." Because they had a rule that said, do not walk on the grass. And on campus, I worked out to go from one end to the other. It takes 10 minutes walking. If I run through the middle, that's not even a minute and a half. So every morning, just before class, that's true. And you see everybody walking around the whole thing. One day he saw me. "When Thomas, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to class, sir." He says, "Don't you see the sign?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "So?" I said, "The sign says, do not walk on the grass." "I'm not walking, sir, I'm running." The following week, the sign changed. "Do not tread on the grass." And then the entire student body was annoyed with me because I caused that. The point I make is, I understand, but I equally learned something. As an encouragement to others, it's important to recognize the efforts and work of those that do what they do. And credit has to be given where credit is due. The person who built the first city in a country cannot escape that one day his name would be mentioned. This is who built the first city. This is who built the first boat. This is who built the first car. We drive a car, we don't know there was a man called Ford. His name will forever be echoing history. Why? Because we can't change what has been done. We can change what we are going to do. And we intend to change a few things with the human rights defense. We don't only talk about human rights, we actually do initiatives. And I'm proud to say that I never went and depended on the money from any particular group, because I decided a long time ago, you're not gonna buy me. So I've been blessed with a brain to start my own initiatives, and we managed to get a few supports. One of the initiatives we started was called the Hope Relief Project. Is the video ready? I'm just gonna show two of our partners that have supported the human rights defense in what we do. When you're ready, sir. When you're ready, let me know.
At y'all live right now, the Organization for the Human Rights Defense has come together and created something that me and Beanie Man will be participating in, which will be like an album that we're putting together for Haiti and for a cause called Hope for Haiti. Producers, artists, writers, this is all for you guys as well. We've teamed up with Syncer to create basically a song that you guys can also go on, and whoever puts the best verse and the best piece of music on it, the best intellectual property on it, you will have a chance to be on the actual album, and all funds and proceeds will be going to help Haiti and the relief of Haiti and for the funding that is called Hope for Haiti. So everybody get ready, do what you gotta do. It's your boy Tory Lanez, Beanie Man, much love, and everybody involved with this. I have the utmost love and respect for you. I hope you guys do great.
The Organization of Human Rights Defense have created an initiative to bring vital medical and food supply to the people of Haiti. I've been asked to be involved. Yes, I am happy. To do what? Just to raise the necessary funds that needed, because this money needed for the Organization of Human Rights Defense to do what they have to do. So in place of the food and all these things, we are going to link up with Sinker Record and we're going to make an album. And this album now is going to be involve talent from across the globe, like, you know, all different type of talent. And it's going to be beautiful. Especially, I'm not only going to be featured on the album, you know, I'm going to have a track on the album with American-based artist Tory Lanez. And then on that track, all of you out there who feel you can sing, rap, do the Jamaican style, do the Afrobeat style, you can win a 16 bars on that same track. So all you have to do is just link up at www.sinkermusic, www.sinkermusic. I know say involved in that. Just say, if you have talent, just show it. So this is what the organization is all about. It's all about me, you, and the world. So let us help it. Help us to do that. I love you. This is Beenie Man. All fans. Love and love.
Pleased to announce that we raised 4.7 million in equipment that was sent over to Haiti. And we don't intend to stop. We intend to do the same for other regions. We did not take a penny. Nothing went into a side pocket. Nothing went to cover for some extra rides. Even though he said, who has the keys for the bimmer? We didn't get one of those either. Okay. And on all the other initiatives that we are looking to do, all proceeds will go to those who need it. So some of that is what we are looking to do. There are many other supporters towards the human rights defense. The media side of it, I'm not even going to get into that today. I just want to celebrate the fact that our expansion is happening and we are moving steadfast into other regions. So I'm grateful for Barbados receiving us and having us here. Thank you very much. There are some people that have distinguished themselves in assisting us. And I want to start with His Excellency, the Honorable Ambassador Dr. Andre Thomas. Please give him a round of applause. Economical development is the first form of empowerment. Anybody that is empowering is reducing poverty. And if you are reducing poverty, then you are a champion of human rights. I'd like to present to you Excellency Diploma. I need a pin. There is a surprise which I'm allowed to do also for him. Not everybody's getting one of these, so don't be surprised. This one is a pin which comes directly from the Romanian Navy, and only commanders get to wear them. Captain? Sorry. You can tell I do this all the time. Dr. Andre, thank you for your services. Much appreciated. Thank you. He already has his badge, so that's why, you know, I didn't do that. A surprise also is for someone that is not expecting to receive anything today. Behind every great man, there is a great woman. And I want to acknowledge Dr. Nina Thomas, please. You see, in order for him to be able to operate, run, like the minister said earlier, somebody's there talking in his ears. So I want to ensure that you will be talking some more things about human rights. and therefore we acknowledge her. Thank you very much for all your services. Thank you. Right. Now we have some new inspectors and some old inspectors. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call our first new inspector, and that's Mr. Cornel Fahy. Can you please come here? He has been honored with the rank of Inspector of Human Rights. And I'm sorry, sir, I know you have an extensive background, but you don't get a commander's general pin, you know? However, you do get our United Nations pin, and it's from the So first, may I present to you your award as an Inspector of Human Rights. And secondly, he is receiving his badge. No, it's not that one. Here you are, sir. Now, sir, this pin is made out of pure gold. Wow. Please do not melt it. And do not sell it. Okay. Thank you, sir. Well done. I have in our midst two people who have done some excellent work, and I'm going to skip the order of protocol and call them forward. One of our inspector who has done a great job so far. And today I want to publicly recognize the head of the future office of Belize of the Commission for Human Rights, Mr. Dominic Penrice. He did not know that this was happening either today, so I like to keep the element of surprise. There you go, sir. Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Okay. The other person I'm about to call up here is a good friend, an esteemed colleague, and one of the most brilliant legal minds in the Caribbean I've worked with. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Dexter Todd to the podium. I believe he will be instrumental in what is being proposed for Guyana because he's Guyanese. One of the few men that has managed to change so many legislation. I heard that he made the people tremble. So, my dear friend and brother, it's a pleasure to present this to you. Yes, no, you're not going yet. And you got your, the only thing is, I don't know if you should get your gold pin, because you left your badge. It's like American Express. Never walk without it. But it's a pleasure to present to you this medal for your work done in the legal field and human rights so far over the last 20 years as a defense counsel that you have been. Your work speaks volumes, sir. So it's my honor to present this to you. And this is by work that people do. And we make sure we look at what they have done. And as I said, when you contribute to something, you have to be acknowledged, planning or not. And I want to honor somebody here that has done more than he's ever said or ever talk about. That's Mr. Isaac Katan. Again, he did not expect this. Sir, just because you have the Robert De Niro look, don't mean you should have the walk, you know? No, I'm joking. Sir, it's a pleasure to recognize your work so far, what you've done. This is just a small token to say thank you for supporting people's human rights. Thank you. Sorry, you forgot.
Oh, my goodness.
You can hang it on the wall later on. Okay. I need one of the other members, and I'm not seeing her here. No, there is a member that's supposed to be here. No, this person. Can you locate her for me? Yeah. If you can find it in the other folders. Another man that is not expecting to be recognized today, but looking at what he has done so far in the country, in the region, and I just think it's only appropriate that I recognize Sir Patrick Tanis. I know. So for the extensive pioneering initiative that has changed the lives of so many, and the work you are looking to do for the future. So this is for now and for the future. It's my honor to acknowledge your work, sir. Thank you for the support. Pleasure. Thank you. Oh, the pictures. If the camera break, don't blame me. And I know they told me not to do it, but I think you guys are going to agree with me. Yeah? I think you guys are going to agree with me. I know he doesn't want to be recognized publicly, but the thing is, if I don't do it here, I will do it in New York. And if I don't do it in New York, when I go to Brazil, I'm going to be talking about him. And I already told my friend in Rio, I said, there is this great Brazilian you never told me about. You imported Romario, you exported Kaká, you exported the last one, you know, what's his name that keep falling on the ground? Neymar. I said, but here is a soccer legend of finance. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to acknowledge Rafael De Angelis. He never asks for anything. He doesn't look for anything, but credit where credit is due. And may I say, this is going to be the first of many for the work you are doing in the area. So, thank you. Muito obrigado por sua labor. Don't you agree with me? He deserves it. All right. Now, if anybody did not get a frame, please don't be upset. It's just that they told us, Barbados, we had to order for more production. So one of our members, and now part of the organization, is Miss Laurel Peterson. Thank you very much for becoming a part of the organization. Recognize your labor and work in education in the medical field. Looking to see much more what we're going to be doing, not just with doctors abroad, but now that the pandemic seems to be over, we want to go into some of the areas where we have been invited. And I'm looking forward. We have over 200 doctors, I never announced it, that are part of the human rights defense out of the Dominican Republic. And so I would like for your support in leading some of that coalition. May I present your badge, your medal for your work? I don't want to mess with the hair. And your certificate also. No, don't go. Unless you don't want it. It's said to be worth about 400 euros. So I'm happy to. You don't want to go? So if you can pull your jacket just a little bit out so I can get to this. Sorry, I'm not trying to ruin it. We got there in the end. Congratulations. I'm being told, and I've seen some of the work that have been done so far. And I like to observe without saying much, because that's when you get to see people in action. And from I came the first time in Barbados, there was somebody that I saw running around tirelessly, up and down, and shared a bit of the vision and their feeling towards the different community. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to recognize one of the greatest supporters of human rights I've heard speak here, and that is Miss Jennifer Hyland. Again, she did not expect, neither did she know that this was happening. I normally get the people who receive the award to speak. Yeah, but in the interest of time today, I won't do that. Jennifer, thank you very much for all your work so far, and many blessings. Please continue to do more. I have it. Okay, so very quickly, we're going to go through some people that they do the work, but don't make any noise, and we just want to acknowledge their work so far. I want to take this time to call someone who personally has assisted me, helped me on a number of occasions, and I'm sure you all will agree has done a fantastic job. Let me say, I disturbed her at the 11th hour, and I didn't have no faith. I am guilty of that. I did not believe she was going to be able to do it. I'm talking about Miss Leanne Johnson. If you can do that at the 11th hour, I can only imagine what you can do. What you have stated in your foundation and what your vision is for young people, this country and the region, please keep it up. Blessings. All right, so I'm going to call the rest very quickly. Is Claire Joseph here? It's almost like we're not going to come. It's the walk of shame. No, It is an acknowledgement. Thank you very much for all the hard work so far. Much appreciated. And people who do without saying are normally the ones that more recognition deserves. There is someone else here that I know that this is going to blow them apart. I've seen the fight and I've seen what has been put together for the future. Many of you don't even know, but there is a plan brewing to make some technological revolution. And I know that that is going to help a vast majority of people in our region. What has been put together, I don't want to spoil the surprise yet, but Raphael, you're going to love it. I promise you. And so someone I met as a client became as a friend. Slowly been observing his work and what he's been done. I want to welcome to the stage Mr. Ashkan Raji. Unbeknown and unexpected to him that this was happening. %. Thank you very much for the work so far, and looking forward for what your design and your technology is going to bring. Yeah, thank you. Right, so I have got somebody here that I read through the bio and I was deeply touched. I'm not sure she's in our midst. I'm talking about Miss Camille Martindale. When people can be selfless and give towards the community and give less of themselves, recognition is due. And this is what we stand for, and this is what we intend to do. Thank you very much for your work so far. Please continue. Don't stop. Okay. Let me present this to you. Well, I have two here, and we nearly finished, so please don't get bored back. It's a surprise, and I want to call one of the champions and giants of hard work. Please help me welcome Ms. Shaka Jones. Both her and her husband serve, give tirelessly. I have called this young lady at some ungodly hours. I'm wondering how come she does. I decided she doesn't sleep. Yeah. I don't know how, but I just want to commend the work of you and your husband and say just a major thank you for what you do, because your support extends beyond what you see. And you don't know how many people you reach in so many regions with your work. Thank you very much. If you notice, I'm very traumatized with all these ladies and their hair putting over the metal. I'm literally shaking. Yeah. Now, okay. There's 2 in 1. Oh, I'm not going crazy. Right. Without further ado, the next person I would like to call over here is Miss Anne-Marie Everleigh. Another quiet but little hard worker. Thank you very much for all your hard work. Thank you for the unseen labor, what you put in. This is just a small token to recognize that what you do is not in vain. Thank you. And in closing of the recognitions, I'm going to call a couple up here because over many years they've been dreaming and wondering and working, and some of the things they share they're looking to do, I believe it's going to make a huge difference. Anyone that wants to do education, for me, they are destiny's changers. So I want to call up here Miss Siestra Thornhill and Mr. Lester Thornhill. For taking such leap of faith and supporting your husband, I want to recognize you first, because it takes guts to actually look at what is around you and make a decision to go back and build something. To leave something to go and build something, that's a huge step. So I want to commend that. And your vision for young people and education definitely will change human rights in your country and the region. Thank you. Mr. Thornhill, for the arduous work you've been doing quietly, still pushing, still believing, and for the words you echoed about what you would like to see transform and change, and the support you want to give to people in unifying your region. May this be a token to inspire you, not to stop. 10 years on, 10 years more. Just keep going at it. Thank you for supporting people. You're welcome. Now, it would not be appropriate if I did not call to the stage to address you and express what it means for what the human rights is going to be doing in Barbados. May I call to this stage your visionary, my brother, and I don't think it's by coincidence, you have double trouble with Double Thomas. So may I call His Excellency, Dr. Andre Thomas. You would have seen a little leaflet around. It's just to give a little bit of indication of what we do, what we intend to do. But the vision of how it's going to work here in Barbados is going to be led by him, and we're just here to support him. I did not announce some of the other aspects of some of the pins you are seeing. The Human Rights Defense works in direct partnership with the International Police Association, and we are liaisons directly into Interpol to report things that we find that are not conducive. We also work on aspects of peace and security in various regions, and that's as far as I can say. But I will just say this: we intend to make a difference, and I've seen that there are certain groups that are worried. You should be, because certain things needs to come to an end, and we intend to do that. Our region is not up for the nonsense. Thank you for your support, sir.
Wow, it's really an honor to fight for human rights. I fundamentally believe in the value of every person. It's really part of who I am, and I think one of the key things in my life is that at my home, I also have a wife who shares my belief in the fundamental value of each person. So give her a hand. And together we're going to work in this organization and really be proactive with Napoleon Foundation, okay, which my wife leads, and which is part of the Upton Funds Group. We're going to really work proactively within the region to be a force in the area of human rights. We want to see housing for people. We want to see programs for women. We want to see programs for children. We're going to give back. Absolutely. We're also going to work with inspectors across the region. We're going to be appointing men and women across the Eastern Caribbean, and we're going to become a force for proactively lifting people up. We're really going to do this. Our range extends all the way to Guyana. It will extend all the way to St. Lucia, to Antigua. We're really looking forward. A year from now, we'll be greater, stronger, and actually have a potent influence on what happens within this region. We're going to be a force for good. Okay. And so thank you, Orville, for the privilege of being part of this organization. I count it a really great honor. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I was about to leave, thank you. But someone that had not been able to make it, I want to call her just to acknowledge, and I will close after this, is Miss Sharon Bellamy. Thank you very much for making it. And may I present to you, thank you for your work towards the defense of human rights. And we are grateful, ask you to continue doing more, all right? All right, so with that said, thank you very much for putting up with us. Thank you for having us. And until the next time, Barbados, thank you very much for having us here. It's been a great delight and a great pleasure. God bless you. See you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of work that's being done by this organization and respective organizations within the group. So just letting you know, yes, we've come to the end of this particular program, but we do have the brand launch of Sia Cosmetics and Sphinx Here, coming up at 7 o'clock. So if you want to stay behind, I'm encouraging you to stay behind so that you can learn about this new brand that's going across the Caribbean. You're welcome to stay. We hope that you stay.